Headshots, welcome back. Today we're gonna check out the Unite 2.0 Early Access. I'm excited. We're gonna have handling mod, content, improvement, all the good stuff. Color me excited. You get Unite 2015 2.0. A Lamborghini Aventador has a kit, and as well the Mercedes-Benz AMG T. But this is the most important thing for me. Rattler with the handling mod. The AI has been fixed to be able to drive with it, but yeah, I have to adjust steer rate and steering angle if I need to change something. Also very important is to put drift and Gymkhana tires on your car. Differential with drivetrain swaps, brake strength with front brake and rear brake bias, updated steering, overhauled the tires, modified the cop handling. $66 million worth of Monster Energy drink. I think most expensive was probably Ken Block. I'm not sure how much the other guys cost. Like the 5 heroes for each. Travis and Amy, I don't think were super expensive, or Spike. Interesting. I have a black screen. That's new. Okay, let's actually get to the target location blindly and see if it fixes itself. Minimap driving. I think I found the traffic car. Dude, I have to drive 4 kilometers like this. New Nuzlocke idea? Just do it blindfolded? I don't know about that, man. Looking good.
Seem like a hot hand. Don't do this up, alright?
Shut up, woman.
This toggles the AI handling. It is necessary to make the AI cars handle the way they should. It is recommended to disable this option for the true handling overhaul experience. There are only a handful of good-looking liveries in this game. Like, Forza was definitely ahead in regards of, like, reps. Grip handling works. And for drifting, we're basically gonna have to yank the handbrake and put on drift tires. Let's see if the cops are overpowered. I remember I played a hard cop mod, which was ridiculous.
Oh, it's the best NFS.
So, what can I say? Rattler's handling mod works. The grip handling is grippy to do any stupid drifting around corners when I do a race. Will fix the handling so you don't have to drift all the time, and especially even the drifting didn't work in this game. At least starting with Payback, they started fixing the drift handling. Man, I would have loved if the game had like this handling for normal races, and then they had a separate handling model that works for drift events, like they did in Carbon, like they did in Underground games, right? It made sense that you have a different handling mode, so you don't have to drift in racing, and you don't have to grip in drifting, you know? It was so clever, and they just threw it out of the window. A mechanic that worked in the past, and replaced it with drift everywhere. So stupid. Always online, all drive was probably EA's thing. Yeah, but I feel like in single player you could have still forced the pause button if you really wanted to. Especially when you play solo, because both Rivals and this game can be played solo if you don't want to play online. Which most of the time is recommendable, because the game actually tends to crash if too many people leave, right? If too many people leave your lobby, you might get kicked out of the lobby, or the lobby just breaks and then you reload the entire fucking game. And that's no bueno. It's still so grippy though. It's better than before. But I think I have to swerve a little bit. Does it make sense? Like, I have to swerve pretty hard to the left first in order to get a drift going on the rebound. Like, this is still not loose enough to be considered a good drift car. Also, the handbrake just doesn't work. You know, one thing that I noticed though, I don't mold right now. Usually whenever I play the game, I mold like crazy. This game deserves a remaster just as much as World War II. Boom. Hey guys, Kuru here. Check out Instant Gaming for cheap game keys. Click the link in the description below. I disliked the game the most, mostly because it was the first Need for Speed that they spent 2 years on to develop, and it never showed that they worked 2 years on this. They also spent a shit ton of money on this game. And the worst offender was the handling. Like, it wasn't fun to drive in this game initially. Like, now you have the Unite team fixing all of the Ghost games. I do notice that weight shifting is now a thing. Dude, look at this. Actually a controlled drift in 2015? What? Yo, that actually didn't feel like shit. I did need a car with a lot of horsepower though, I will say that. I don't think that most stock cars that are low speed can do this. But hey, the M3 GTR seems to have enough power to actually get drifts going. Yeah, like one thing I will never understand is the people that liked 2015 when it released. Like the game was in such a dreadful state when it released. And I saw in the trailer of this game that they showed at E3 that even the developers did not have the cars under control. That was a huge red flag for me, because everyone was still having both Rivals and Need for Speed 2012 in mind to have bad handling. So everybody was already saying, oh my god, I really hope the handling is gonna be good. And you could see on the E3 demo that even the developers didn't have their own car under control. And I was like, uh-oh. If a developer that has been working on this game for 2 years cannot control his car at E3, we're in trouble. And sadly, I was right. I was thrown off by the action camera. No, the action camera might have been turned off, the Unite mod. Because nobody liked it. And people were like, can we turn this off? Like, that was the #1 question when the action camera was first shown. People just started to ask, can we turn it off? I gotta say, I was weirded out by it too. Because it was basically, while you were drifting, it was zooming on the car and you could barely see what was in front of you. Which just makes no sense for racing. Doesn't make sense for drifting either if you don't see what's in front of you. This is the #1 flaw of the drift train. If you lose your teammate, you're not getting points. It's so stupid. And then you have a teammate that puts you into the wall. That is exactly the problem with this fucking game mode. This is a perfect showcase, and this is the easier version because you only have like one person to dodge. When you do a drift train with like 4 other races, it's complete chaos. Everyone and their mom hated these events because they were extremely unfunctional. You always ended up being too fast, too slow, or crashing into your teammate when you were drifting. And then you also have traffic. Like the possibilities, the way they, the world map is built, like you can totally cut corners here. Like in a lot of parts, it is wide enough to get like super nice cuts on the corners and then just get a really nice apex. The problem is wall interactions are still a mess in this game. Like it feels like you're driving in a straight up wall whenever you hit the side. Like there's no differentiation between hitting a wall 90 degrees or, like this, like 20 degrees. It's always like you hit it perfectly like this. That's how the game reacts to it at all times. It's kind of stupid. Did you just see that failed fist bump? They just went with it. I don't think I noticed that before. The cops were such boring entities in this game. They don't even try to get you. Like, what if I just cruise here? Does the cop do anything? You know what I mean? Okay, wow. He actually went for a move. And then he's stuck. Also, not being able to destroy a cop or being destroyed by a cop, it just takes out all the tension. Was the outlaw career cool in this game? How was that cool? The cops suck in this game so much. Like, it's no fun whatsoever dealing with the cops in this game. Like, not even the Unite mod can fix the cops. How can you say that the outlaw story is good when the cops are so bad? It's like the main part. And this is so boring without the suit breakers. You can't take out the cops. They can't take you out. They can just put you in the wall. Then you go in reverse and they can't bust you. Well, playtested. I mean, they have to have playtested this themselves, right? Like, there was one developer that made the cops, and clearly he was running against the cops. You know, it doesn't make sense to me because they had better cops in Rivals. You know that? Like, that is what annoyed me about this game so much. The handling, the cops, and even the story somehow is worse than Rivals. And it took 2 years to make this game, and spent $66 million to make it. Dude, I can totally see that developers being like, fuck this, we're done with this game, let's just make it last mission and call it a day. Play Delta. Guys, thanks so much for watching. Good night, we'll come back tomorrow, and good night.